Alright guys, my name is Metagoblin and today I'm going to be giving you a classic World of Warcraft Mage leveling guide. So I'm going to split this video into 5 sections. 1, we will be going through the optimal talent build for leveling. 2, we will have the how to kill mobs fast section where it will be running through the optimal rotations and overall playstyle to kill mobs the fastest. 3, we will be talking about gear and stats, what stats you should be prioritising. 4, I will give you a detailed wand progression list. Then 5, I will talk about the spells you need to be upgrading, the ones that you can skip, and then I'll finish off talking about how you can further save money to get your mount at level 40. So let's run through the talents. I will talk you through the process step by step. The mage playstyle is basic to understand. Basically, you do as much damage as possible without being in melee range, which means your talents have to boost the success of this playstyle, which I will explain a little bit more in the actual playstyle section. So let me run through the talents. First of all, we're going to put 3 points into elemental precision, just means that your frost spells have a high chance to hit. A little bit of improved frostbolt, but we're not going to finish it just yet. We're going to get full out on frostbite, full out on improved frost nova, full out on ice shards, and shatter. So these are the key 3 talents. It's Shatter, Frostbite and Ice Shards, because these are going to increase your shatter damage. Basically, Frostbite has a chance for every time you get whacked by a melee mob that your ice armor will freeze the target in place, and then you can run a little bit and save mana by not casting another Frost Nova. And then Ice Shards increases your critical damage bonus. And then Shatter has a 50% chance of causing a frozen target to be critted. So everything is about freezing the target, moving away, and then doing as much damage as possible. The playstyle has pretty much always been like that for a mage. So from here, Ice Block is great, primarily for just tanking out mobs and also doing, also protecting you from fall damage. From here, we're gonna go to Arctic Reach, just gets you in combat faster, so we like a bit of that. You can also go for Cold Snap here if you want it. It's not essential, but probably be quite useful for PvP situations. And then you're gonna just finish off improved frostbolt before going into ice armor. But one thing you do need before you go to ice armor is frost channeling, which is just going to reduce the mana cost, which is always beneficial. From here, it's all the only useful talent in this tree really is arcane subtlety, and then you can put 3 points really to just get down to here, which is arcane concentration. This is one of the key talents. Again, just going to reduce the mana cost and reduce your increase your uptime, reduce your downtime. Here you probably want to get 1 spec. You don't use wands incredibly much, but they are useful now and again. And then you just really finish off in Piercing Ice and bit of Winter's Chill. And there you go, that is it. So let me run through the rotation. Step 1, you're going to try and get to max range if you can safely do so. Then you're going to cast approximately about 2 frostbolts, depending on how fast the mob is. Then you let the mob hit you, 1 to 3 times, depending on how confident you feel, depending on how much health you have left. What you're trying to do is you're trying to let the Frostbite talent take effect. You're just giving it a chance. It has a 50% chance to trigger a free Frost Nova when mobs are debuffed by your Ice Armor. So always obviously have Ice Armor activated to benefit from that. If you're unsuccessful, then just use Ice Nova instead, because at the end of the day you don't want to be standing there for too long. Then run safely to close max range once again, 20 to 30 yards. But don't run so far that the mob's freeze effect wears off, because you want to squeeze in 1 more frostbolt to benefit from that shatter effect, because there's a 15% chance to further crit your frostbolts as long as the target is frozen. So from there, you cast frostbolts until the mob gets closer to you again. But at that point, you probably don't want to Ice Nova, unless you get a cheeky frostbite. I'd recommend at that point, the mobs are going to have so little health that it's probably better off to just finish them off with a wand. And obviously you should be using Ice Barrier whenever it's available to further reduce your damage taken. So for our first section, we're going to run through gear and stats. So this is what your stat priority is going to look like. Firstly, Spirit, then Intellect, and then get spell power items when they are available to you. So the reason why Spirit takes over is because it massively reduces your downtime between mob pulls, because in the long run you will be able to keep on fighting without having to keep on drinking. Especially when mobs are a bit of a distance away, you also have a chance to, basically just lose a mob tag because you fell behind, drinking, and then someone else just stole the mob off you. Intellect increases your stamina, fight stamina also, by stacking up that big mana pool. And spell power will probably only shave off a second of mob killing time if you stack it really high, but you will have to stack it really high for it to really make a difference, and your mana will burn out quickly if you don't have good intellect and spirit pieces. Plus spell power pieces are actually quite rare to find in the first place, and you will have to chunk them all together to make a significant difference to your DPS. So in my opinion, I would stack intellect with spirit. Well, I would stack spirit and intellect, with spirit being the biggest priority. However, you do need to stack just about enough intellect so that your mana is high enough so that it doesn't deplete, you know, after about 5 frostbolts. So for our fourth section, let's quickly run through the wand progression. In the levels 5 to 13, you want to go for the lesser magic wand. In levels 13 to 18, you want to go for the Fire Belcher, which is a Wailing Cavern's rare mob. You got Cookie Stirring Rod, which is another option for the Alliance, or Horde I guess, which is from Cookie in the Dead Mines. You've also got Greater Magic Wand. If you don't want to do any dungeons, just get that off the auction house or trade it with a friend. For level 18 to 31, you want to go for the Gravestone Scepter, which is from Black Fathom Villainy, which is a quest that you have to complete in Black Fathom Depths, or Black Fathom Deeps. Captain Rackmore's Tiller is a quest from Captain Rackmore's Claim Rackmore's Treasure in Desolus. For number 31 to 40, you've got the Burning Sliver, which is an Alliance quest in the Ralphie Highlands. You've got the Gnomish Zapper, which is a neutral quest in Thousand Needles. You've also got Dancing Flame, which is a Horde quest in the Thousand Needles. Or you can alternatively go for the Mage Wand, which starts from the class trainer, Journey to the Marsh quest. You can get that about level 30. At level 40 to 42, you've got the Umbral Wand, which is from the auction house. You've got Chillnail Splinter, which is a Horde Dustwallow Marsh quest. You've also got Charged Lightning Rod, which is a Searing Gorge quest. For level 42 to 50, you've got the Carestone Sliver, which is an Alliance Feralus quest at level 42. You've got Nature's Breath, which is a Horde Hinterland quest at about level 46. And you've also got the Ivory Wand, which you can buy from the auction house. At level 50 plus, you've got the Rod of Corrosion from the Sunken Temple, and you've got the Wizard's Hand from the auction house. So lastly, let's talk about the key spells that you want to be ranking up and the ones you could probably skip to save money, because one of the most important things about playing a class that doesn't have a free mount is being able to buy that mount at level 40, guaranteed, because the longer you spend running around is massively going to reduce your leveling time. So for number 1, obviously Frostbolt. For number 2, get rank 1 Frostnova. It doesn't need upgrading from here because it has the exact same effect. Get Blizzard if you have knowledge of AoE grinding, you want to take advantage of it. Get Cone of Cold if the money is good. You can use it as a finisher spell, but it is not essential. You got Fireball until you begin to use Frostbolt 24/7 because you're going deep into the Frost spec. Get Fire Blast again if the money is good, because combined with Cone and Cold they can become really good spells for soloing difficult mobs through kiting. You've also got Arcane Intellect, which you need to be upgrading all the time. You've got Blink, Counterspell, you just need the first rank. Obviously, you always upgrade your Conjure Water and Food. For 11, get Frost Armor, obviously, Ice Armor, and Ice Block. Sorry, that's meant to be Ice Barrier. So Frost Armor, Ice Barrier, and Ice Block. I get all the names mixed up. And that's it. You know, you're done. Everything else can be skipped until you get your mount, basically. So lastly, I said I would run through some extra tips to save money for your mount. So number 1, get Skinning and Vendor the Leather. 2, get Tailoring to make bags very quickly. Bags, you know, getting bags early means you can generate more money and you can sell the crafted gear pieces as well. Or alternatively, you can make friends of a tailor to get the bags. Number 4, First Aid. Check quests. You check the quest item reward, right? So you might need an add-on for that, but always choose the most expensive quest reward that you can't make use of and just obviously vendor it. And lastly, quickly make a bank haul for any mats that you know will sell more on the auction house. You can actually just send them to your bank haul and just leave them in the mailbox. You don't need to go and you can use the mailbox as an extra bank as well. So anyway guys, that's where I'm going to end the video there. My name is Metagoblin. Until my next video, ciao.